All right, y'all. So, I want to just do a quick little story time on why I'm single. So, I have been in lots of relationships. That might not be common for everybody, but I am the type of person who will date. I like to date. I like to meet new people. It's just that, you know, after a while, you just stop wanting to get your heart broke. I think that's the reason why I've been kind of really not dating for the last like year or so, year and some change. And I think being picky is part of it, but I don't think that's everything about it. So the last relationship I was in, put a finger down if you ever dated a therapist. Okay. No offense to all the therapists out there. Therapists need love too. And I just, but we're gonna get into it. So, I met this girl at I think it was after a show. So, like I mentioned, my name is Sadu. I have a band. It's all black women. It's called Sis. So we have performed at this pretty popular local venue called Crowbar. And so we were performing, so I met her actually before we went on stage, which is good because I feel like when you meet somebody, when you get off stage, there can be an element of like, I don't know, it's like when somebody kind of like see you as something now. Like, I don't know, it's different when it's almost like a fan. It's like, when fans fall in love, but it wasn't like that because it was before we even went up there. So we just was sitting at the bar and we sparked up a conversation, which I think is very organic and natural, and it's how I like to meet people. But I think some of the best people, I think it's we need a little bit more help. Like some of the best relationships I was in, I definitely had help finding that person. So, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the therapist. I'm not gonna say her name for for the video. I'm gonna call her. Let's call her Baldy. She was cute though. She was cute. She just had that, But anyways, so we're gonna call her Baldy. So I liked Baldy. Baldy, she was smart. She was funny. She was talented. She was everything. I really like Baldy. But the crazy part is like when I first met her, I was attracted to her for sure, but it was just something that was just like kind of making me a little bit reserved about her. I liked her though, but I just remember that. I remember like, I don't really know about her. But I ended up, giving her a shot, low key, and I fell in love with this girl. I did. I really loved her. I met her mama, and I loved her mama too. And I just was like, I just knew we was gonna get married. This was it, man. And I just feel like it was so petty how we broke up. And I was like really upset about it. But I can't be that mad because I have to be accountable for, my part that I played. So we first met at the show. Everything was cool. We went out on a few more dates. She was like, she's a professional. I work a regular job. I'm not going to sit up here and say I have a career. I don't. I have a band. That's what I do have. But I don't have a career like that. I have a job for sure. A good job. You know what I'm saying? I make some decent money and I'm good. So I have a job. I have, things that I love, passions in my life. So I don't, I don't feel like, anyway slighted that I don't have the type of career she has. But she had a very demanding schedule. So we would have to like, everything about like being with her was so organized and calculated. And as a artist-minded person, I don't know if, many people know this or not, but we are not the most, paperwork, attention to detail type people. We not. Our I think it's like the left brain versus the right brain. One of the sides of our brain don't work very well. The other one works overtime. Okay, so that was one thing I think that kind of like, but I feel like opposites attract. I don't know. Obviously, don't listen to me. I'm still single, but this is just a story. So we was dating, and her schedule was so demanding that we would have to like schedule one day out the week to have our date. So we would like go out on Mondays. I know. It's giving desperate. But honestly, at first when I was like, because you know, people love to say like weekend days are prime dating days, which is true. If somebody's, you know, spending their Friday and Saturday with you, that's like a big deal, because usually those are high demand days, especially if they have other people on their roster or whatever. I'm the type of person, I like to date one person at a time. I can't, you know, keep up with all the names, all the places, all the birthdays, all the favorite colors. I can't keep up with all that. I'm gonna be mixing them up, and I hate for somebody to be like, oh no, that's the other person, not me. I'm like, oh dang. So I'm not good at that. So I like to do one at a time, you know, take my time, give everybody their fair shot, you know what I'm saying? So we're going out on Mondays, and we was like picking like the cutest little places. Like, we had the best little Monday dates, and it was such a treat during the week to like have something to look forward to. Like, okay, on Monday I get to go see her, we're gonna do something cool. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm still getting over this whatever that was. I think it was the flu or pneumonia or flumonia or whatever it was. I had it. It was terrible. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Now, why would he turn it from? See, you know, people is just this. I know she mad. Anyways, Lord have mercy. People don't be paying attention, y'all. They just be doing a little bit of everything while they driving. But, so yeah, so we were dating. We were going out on Mondays. I really liked her. So I was real sad when things didn't work out. But we used to have a good time. Okay, when I tell you a good time, I mean a good time. We was having a good time. Look at my neighbor, y'all. She's so cute. So we would have a good ass time. We was having a good time. We really did. And the dates were so thought out. I mean, places I had never been. I really loved dating this girl. And so how did it all end, right? Because like it wasn't even, we didn't even date that long. We dated for about 3 months. And actually, you know what, this is not the last person I dated, but this was the last person that I really liked that I dated. But I, you know, we was doing real good. I remember one time, this how it all ended. We had just came back from visiting her mom. We had to take a little road trip to see her mom. So I'm thinking I'm in there, you know what I'm saying? I'm meeting your mom. So, oh, here come my neighbor. She about to come over here. Oh my goodness. All right, well, I'm going to finish this in a second. Hold on. All right, so I had to say hey to my neighbor. I forgot where we were. I think we was talking about how it all ended. So we had just came back from seeing her mom. I loved her mom. I just knew that was going to be with this girl forever. So, so we was kicking it. I was at her place. And we had spent the night. It was a good night, but we was like not seeing eye to eye. This was like our first, like, I guess you would say this is where like the honeymoon phase is starting to wear off. And so this is like our first like real disagreement. And I forget what we was even disagreeing over. But it was like the energy was so bad. It was not giving, and it had been like that since like the night before. So the next day, it's like, you know, we trying to, you know, do our little routine or whatever. Like, she was the best. Like, we would wake up and meditate every morning, like cook breakfast together. Like, we was cute. It was giving that. But like, this is let you know, even sometimes then. But okay, I got 1 more minute. Okay, so this is how it ended, because I don't know, maybe I'll do a part 2, but or maybe not. Okay, let me just say it. So we was having that you know, bad energy, and I was like, all right, I'm about to go home. I ain't say it like that, but I was just like, you know, I think I'm ready to go home. And she just was mad because I guess she didn't want me to go home, and she still felt the way. And I get it, but like, you know, I'm ready to go home. I feel away, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a right to go home. So basically, I'm gonna have to do a part 2, but I'm gonna tell y'all. So we ended up arguing a little bit, and she was like, she basically told me, if I leave, never come back again. So I think that if you gonna mean that shit, don't say that to somebody, because that really hurt my feelings. So, but I'm gonna tell y'all the rest on part 2.